Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Returners Hideout number 327. We are back. We are back, and we are here with the newest set. Welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday. Dream Like Oceans is here, and we are ready to play with some brand spanking new cards. I can't wait. Let's dive right in. We've got 5 players joining us today. We've got some weird octagon turbulence that is getting in the way of many more gamers joining us and having a good time. I'm hoping all of that is ironed out soon, but it does look like we've got just enough people who've got it sorted out and are able to get in there, and wouldn't you know it, we are also able to spectate, so it's good enough for us to bring you guys a little bit of Opus 28 action. So let's see what some of these constructed games look like for the first time ever for this set. This will be the set that is the star of the show for our upcoming competitive season here. Fingers crossed that we hear some information on that soon. And it does look like right out of the gate we've got somebody trying out a Final Fantasy IX deck with the new Steiner. We'll talk about him in a second. And we've got a crystals deck. Oh wow, am I not surprised at all. Irving Diaz is exploring crystals early into the set here. So let's talk about some of the new cards that we're see play and what these decks got that gave these players a reason to bring them to the table this week. Howdy, Mr. RBXR. How are we doing? Cat 9 versus the Crystal Remnants. It does look like it may just be crystals in general. I think the Remnants hardly need anything besides themselves. There's just be like a really powerful crystal generation engine, and then they have the added benefit of some great ways to spend crystals. So first, let's talk about the Final Fantasy IX side of the table. So Steiner is a new legend that came out in this set. The Category 9 forwards other than Steiner you control gain. This forward cannot be chosen by your opponent's abilities. When Steiner enters the field, choose a Category 9 character of 4 or less in your break zone and play it onto the field, and then he has an S ability that says he can't be chosen by abilities until the end of the turn. So, one of the most natural pairings with this guy is this Zidane. All from Opus 23, he's a hero, and he says when he enters the field, you can search for 2 Category 9 forwards with different names. So Steiner playing the Zidane right out of the break zone, and then getting the double forward search for FF9 just helps you get those synergies right away. Now, it's interesting because we did choose, it's a character of 4 or less. We opted for a forward to extend our forwards play. It does mean that we're going kind of wide early here and don't have as much to back it up. But Irving was doing the same thing, so we're just kind of matching that energy. We get to the Amaranth. We do have a Final Fantasy IX forward, so we do not need to discard anything extra, so we get to play Amarant and deal 7,000 damage with this nice body attached to it. This Steiner wears hammer pants? Yeah, you better believe it. Meanwhile, on the other side of the table, we've got some crystal things. So there's a couple new crystal cards. Everything on the table right now is the same old, but we did see one of the Remnants earlier. The Remnants have those awesome abilities where they can remove other Remnants in the break zone to gain 2 crystals, and then they all have crystal spenders. Laz here is able to choose a forward to give it plus 2,000 power. He's probably the weakest spender of the 3 of them. You've got Yazoo, who's got the ability to spend 1 crystal to choose a character, dull, and freeze it. And then Kadaj, of course, is the star there. He's the legend, and if the other 2 guys are removed, he does some nasty discard stuff. So, oh, and here's another one of the new Final Fantasy IX cards. So this is Legend Vivi. Vivi here, coming down when he enters the field, choose any number of forwards opponent controls, divide 7,000 damage among them as you like. And if you control a 9 forward other than Vivi, divide 10,000 damage among them. So it looks like we are choosing to kill the Bards for 9k and to do 1,000 damage to Peren. And we are turning our big dog Steiner sideways for 9,000 here. Oh, there we go. We get to get a look at Yazoo here, yeah. Yazoo, same thing, yeah. They all have that same first line. You just choose a Remnant and remove them, but then it's got that bonus spender there. I gotta get a bevy, guys. I'll be right back getting a drink. Oh my goodness. Alright, I'm back. Happy Opus 28, yes. Happy Opus 28. Not in that Australia. No. Shipping delays, man, that sucks. That sucks, it sucks. Alright, what did I miss here? Did I miss anything at all? I know I was only up for a minute. It looks like Irving played a backup and is trying to sort out the rest of his turn, so I don't think so. That's right, you know what? Even if you're not able to, get a little Final Fantasy TCG set 28 under the tree, at least you can live vicariously through us online. We barely have Octagon, isn't that the truth? Oh, man. Alright. Big Sippa. Why is the chat box being so weird? Also, there we go, it's fixed. Okay, back to the game. What do we got? So we got Final Fantasy 9 stuff. I do think there's a lot of Final Fantasy 9 cards. Take another chug. I knew that was coming, dude. Taking another chug just for you. Decided I got sniped by a summon. So what summon did take out our boy? Shiva, huh? Wow, this Shiva, how interesting, because you could pay the crystal for the ability to reduce the cost. Very cool. Stopping in to say hi. Couldn't make it today, not sure I'll make it next week, but we'll see. Hey, brother, well, you know what? It's good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. we're missing you this week, but maybe you can at least, you know, you can see what's going on, get a little piece of the action for yourself here, and then we'll be joining you soon. Come up with all the new additions to the ice deck, dude, or who knows what we'll be playing this set. I don't know what's exciting you. I don't know what's tickling your fancy. What's exciting you guys, chat? What's a card from this new set that you're really excited to mess with, or that you've been really enjoying so far? Lucio coming down here, and he is going to go ahead and search for 2 Warriors of the Crystal. Now, one of the really cool things this set is we got a lot of new job Warrior of the Crystals. So Lucio's got a lot of new targets. There's a lot of there's now multiple options within the same element, which isn't something that we had before. Lucio always had to go get guys who were well, I mean, he does say each of a different element, so you still got to play like a 2-element deck and go get each of those guys all the time, but you don't have to play like 4 colors just to have a lot of different targets for Lucio. So I really appreciate that. I would, but I gotta run. Hey man, well thanks for stopping by, and oh, the 500 Bitterinos! Thank you so much, Joe. You have a wonderful day. Thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate you. We're missing you. Yeah, so interesting to see this Shiva in Irving's deck. I mean, this is from all the way back when they introduced crystals in Opus 15. It's crazy to think that crystals were introduced that long ago. Yeah, you can pay that extra crystal to reduce the cost of this to 1, and then you can just either 9k a dull forward or you buff all your ice dudes. So 9k'ing the dull forward is pretty good. MBM was better than I thought it was. MBM is absurd. Part of the problem is that all the cards like are way too efficient for how they do the thing. Your engine card is a limit break card, Ash. And then I guess the biggest issue is that Penello's ability is not like once per turn, so you can just tap 6 different fucking guys and make them sack twice. I mean, the Penello is disgusting. What a ridiculous common. Every single, so we had our pre-release on Tuesday. We had a Tuesday pre-release yesterday, and every single person played MBM. Like everybody, because there's no reason not to. Let me tell you, chat, your boy played a pile, okay? I played all the MBM stuff, and I played some ice stuff, and I played Kieran. We never got Kieran off. But we sure tried. You pulled 3 Amarant, Steiner, Vivi, and Garnet. Dude, I did not see a single copy of Steiner, Vivi, or Garnet yesterday. I was like, weren't there Final Fantasy IX cards in this set? I did, however, see a lot of MBM. MBM Dancers? It could be. Could be. I don't really know that Dancers cares about the MBM stuff. It's just, it's more so the fact that Penello is technically a dancer, right? I feel like MBM is probably better without Dancers, and Dancers is maybe better without MBM, but like, yeah, I mean, there's definitely a blend of those decks that's very real and for sure works. I mean, they snap together pretty cleanly. I think that's more what I'm more interested in, Tyler. I mean, well, the other thing there is there are more Moogle payoffs, but again, even those are not the best. So the 3-drop Stiltskin and the 2-drop Mog 6 from like the same set that care about Moogles are wild with the MBM stuff. Like, they're crazy. But then you go looking for like a little bit more, and there's nothing else. There's nothing else there. Every other synergy is in ice. So you're like, oh, okay. Your backup line comes together in 2 seconds, and then you play like you have like 2 forwards, and then you're trying to figure out what else the rest of the deck is. Yeah, all the rest of the stuff is like ice. Yeah. So then at that point, there's no MBM synergies in ice. So it starts to be like Starts to feel like two different ideas again, you know? But yeah, there's definitely something there. I've been exploring it. I've only just started exploring. What is going on here, dog? I feel like we've been watching a whole lot of nothing forever. Okay, Irving's turn, and he is going for a Titus here. Oh my goodness. I await more dinosaurs for the Pilraster synergy. Isn't the one guy, isn't the one dude a dinosaur? Oh no, he's got the very specific, the Final Fantasy XI guy has the special boss type name, not dinosaur, I think. It's okay, one day. Oh yeah, you're right. Looking at it, there are no other dinos. Alright, Tyler, I see that you've gotten your stuff fixed and I have added you into the tournament. I have to just manually redo the first round so that you're added in. So it's Irving versus Logan here. So this will be Irving versus Logan. This is supposed to be JR versus DJ, and then we'll say you played Kurt, but Kurt beat you 7-0. Because that is the same thing as a bye for him, and a loss for you. And then we are set. Alright, cool. We've got, oh, Key, welcome to chat. Key saying, I thought for sure they were going to print an FF9 forward with a payoff, but there's still no playable Tribal 9 deck. Yeah, I think that there's all these efficiencies, right? Like, oh, I search for another guy. Oh, I play a guy. Oh, like, if you have a guy, I'm a little bit better. But nobody is like let's look at Vivi, for example. Vivi is supposed to be a Final Fantasy IX payoff card, right? But he's just like, do you have a Final Fantasy IX forward? Like, so like, I guess I could play a big Final Fantasy IX tribal deck, and then I'm more likely to control a 9 forward other than Vivi, right? But it's not really like, it's not really a big payoff for it. Whereas, yeah, exactly. I think the 1 CP Vivi is kind of a similar payoff most of the time, but for way less CP. And he has other synergies that this guy doesn't have by being such a cheap card. Yeah, it's just, they're just efficient, right? It's just got efficiencies. It doesn't have any big, like, some big slam and payoff. I agree that, you know, you're like even something like the Eden Summon, right? Like that. But yeah, New Steiners, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of, he's not saying there's no synergies, guys. Yeah, there's definitely some Final Fantasy IX synergies. But it needs to be doing something, you know. And it does seem right now like the Final Fantasy IX deck is really efficient, but you need to bootstrap something else to it to get it to actually like do something. Now that's a great point there, RBXR. Category 9, because what we have seen is we have seen them dripping out these like stained glass, or not even, I guess this isn't really stained glass, but like these different arts of these cards that they've had this like art style here of the VV, the Steiner. We've started to see the slow drip of these. We had the Freya more recently. I think it would be cool if we just kept getting them in the 9. You know, 9 saw like more synergies and some payoff cards that were seeded through the next few sets. I would think that'd be cool. But I do agree. I mean, Key is just kind of echoing another angle of the same point I was making earlier, right? Where I said when I left pre-release, I felt like this was an MBM set, not like this was a Final Fantasy X set, not like this was a Final Fantasy 7 or 13 or FFTA 2, or sorry, FFTA, not 2, FFTA, or, you know, like there's a lot of these other cards in the set, technically, but the things that felt like they made complete, immediate sense with each other and, like, just, like, worked really well together, it was just, like, it was some board game I've never heard of before was actually the category that had a bunch of synergy together. And it's cool. I love Ryoma Ito and his art style, and I love that Ryoma Ito had the like this chibi art of all of these Final Fantasy 12 characters. I think that's super fun. But it is a little weird that it's like its own category and it's its own thing going on. It's not just like 12. Debuts of new categories or whole archetypes always end up feeling like the spotlight. Yeah, I suppose. I mean, you've got stuff like the name, you know, not to be that guy again, but they named the sets now, right? So you've got this set named Dreamlike Oceans, and Yuna is the poster card of the set. And then you've got barely any Final Fantasy X stuff going on. There's like some going synergies, but you know, and what exactly is Dreamlike Ocean about Moogle Bounty Mayhem or any, you know, these things are just like, sure, I guess. Yeah, there's like 3 goings and no like side characters, right? There's no like additional Final Fantasy X like support or characters. You could have had like multiple versions of Dress Sphere versions of those characters if you actually wanted there to be any kind of like real Final Fantasy X nod. Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of part of the problem, right? Is why bother naming them if the names don't mean anything. Do you know how much harder it is to remember when a set came out when people are just saying the names? Like, the numbers are still a million times easier for me. Especially because, dude, there's like Crystal Dominion, Crystal whatever. There's like 5 fucking Crystal decks or 5 fucking Hope decks. Or not decks, sets. Almighty Shinra. Yeah, that'd be cool. Oh, so here's Kadaj. Okay, let's talk about... There's actually some new stuff happening. So when Kadaj enters the field, you choose a remnant in your break zone, remove it from the game, and gain 2 crystals. So we've got a lot of crystals now. Kadaj is able to remove yet another remnant. And then he does say, at the end of each of your turns, if you have 2 or more remnants removed from the game, your opponent discards 2 cards. So we're not there yet, but those last 2 cards in Logan's hand are not long for this world. Then he has an action ability. You can choose a dull forward the opponent controls, return it to his owner's hand. And what's fun about that is it's effectively, we will effectively be killing the Amaranth since we're moving it back to his hand with the crystal. And then we're going to be able to discard these 2 cards from his hand at the end of the turn. We're also able to spend more than 1 crystal. So he plays Kadaj, and there's not a once per turn clause on that. So you see Irving using the crystals to return 2 different things to hand, and one of them is actually a limit break card. So that card is going to get it's going to get broken, or not broken, but basically go to the void anyway. Now we see Atomos being cast. You're paying a crystal to reduce its cost by 2 if we so desire. Looks like we did. So 1 CP, it's Homos to have our opponent just select yet another forward they control, put it into the break zone, and there goes the Ultima weapon, leaving just Zidane on the field. So I think that this is these remnants out of the box immediately. They've got more than enough gas, making 2 crystals when they enter the field, and the fact that 2 out of 3 of them have really good crystal payoffs is cool. I see Zidane. Are people messing with new Category 9 stuff? They sure are, man. We've got Final Fantasy 9 Water Fire here. We've seen new Zidane. We've seen new... Or not new Zidane, sorry. We've seen new Steiner. We've seen new Vivi. And look at this gorgeous Garnet, dude. Garnet art is here as well. Welcome to Alexandria, folks. That's right. Final Fantasy 9 is back on the table. For one night only, or to stay? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. Yeah, and there are new Warrior of the Crystals, which is pretty cool. Here's our first one, actually. You know what's funny? This card looks like a fucking Wind Ice card because they just put a light blue gradient over a bright yellow disc. So, like, looking at this card from a glance right now, does this not look like it's Ice Wind? In fact, looking at a glance, the card looks more green than ice, doesn't it? Like, this is just a horrible design choice. Shitty design, but, you know, hey, it is what it is. Yoshikiri is a Naruto character for sure. Yeah, pretty much, dude. We got a Warrior of the Crystal / Ninja here from FFVE. When Yoshikiri enters the field or is blocked, you can pay a crystal, and then if you do, your opponent randomly discards a card. That's a powerful random discard. And then I love that his action ability chooses a forward and says they, if possible, they must block this turn. The fact that he is a 4CP 9K, it really helps him take advantage of the fact that he's like over curved, that he can just like force combats so that he can win them. Yeah, you can be like, okay, hey, I'm over curve, and you know what? I'm going to take advantage of that with my ability in a unique way, where I'm going to like just win combat. It's a better Jack Garland, right? Yeah, I mean, yeah. But thou must effect, yes. Oh, but thou must. Yeah, Yoshikiri is turning sideways right now to flex that removal. So we had Steiner told that he must block this turn, and then we cleared him with Yoshi. Interessante! So yeah, we've had some cool stuff on the other side here with the crystal guys. I mean, I'll tell you, for all the for all of the awesome, cool stuff that it looks like Irving is doing, and for how few cards that that Logan's got on the field, Irving sure is almost dead, huh? He sure is almost dead. But horseshoes and hand grenades, folks. Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah. But thou must. Yeah, I'm excited to mess with a couple different things, dude. The MBM stuff is fun. I really like, dude, the fact that it looks like there might be a mono wind FS7. Yes, I know storming is probably still the best thing to do with mono wind, but I don't look, man. Mono wind finally still looks kind of cool. Honestly, I might have to do a coffee and bullshit or something, because I feel like there's a lot of bullshit I want to screw with. It just like seems kind of fun, but obviously it's something I'm not going to touch at all as soon as they announce a competitive season. And at this point, yeah, these guys are saying, he's saying Kadaj is so insane, because Kadaj, of course, once he came down, if he doesn't get removed right away, he's able to just take 2 cards every turn. It could just be a very, very strong and annoying card. Irving getting it with Ice Water Crystals with a really great comeback there against what looks like Fire, Water, Fire, Fantasy 9 stuff. So, all right, switching into another table. Actually, it looks like that's it for those 2 tables. Okay, so, and we will have 3 tables for next round because we got Tyler spun up, so there won't be a bye. Thank you, Kurt, for being an all-star and taking that one on the chin round 1. Table 1, we had JR take it 7-4 over DJ. I wonder what JR's up to. I wonder if it's something new or if he's polished up a nice new shiny coat on a nightstick. All right, let's see. Logan, of course, Irving took that one 7-6. And we'll go to the next round here. Alright. Alright, putting up the pairings. Okay, we're cooking. Oh, Tyler, I'm sorry. There you go. I gotta reflag you as a player. I got you, brother. There you go. Welcome back into the fold. Reached all the way into whatever part of my brain that brews bullshit for this one. Alright, brother, I can't wait. We might have to fire up that table too, although I gotta see what JR is up to. We didn't see what Kurt's playing against, so we're gonna look at table 1, but Tyler, I'm excited. We'll get to you before the day is through. It's the new set night, so I want to make sure we see all 6 ideas, whatever's going on here. Alrighty. Table 1 is ready, folks. Let's, oh no, that's awaiting a player, that's awaiting a player. No, I ruined it. No. Okay, there we go. like tried to add me as a player and then kicked me. I was like, no, no, no. All right, there we go. Alright, we got Kurt versus JR here, folks. Let's zoom in. Let's get names on the screen since the game's on the screen. And let's see what these gentlemen are playing this week. Oh boy. Oh boy. MBM is here. The terror of pre-release is here on the table. We'll see what all there is to see here. Mont Blanc Sorbet. And Gertie already, dude. Adding an MBM character in our breakstone back to our hand. When Gertie enters the field, probably just going to be the Pinello. It is going to be Pinello and Pass here. Sorbet, Mont Blanc, and Gertie already online, and Hurdy and Horn are surely not too far behind. Passing it right back over to JR. We'll see what JR is up to. But yeah, MBM off to the races here. Water Lightning MBM already represented day one. I think if anybody here played in pre-release, you wouldn't be surprised to see this. Every single person I played against in pre-release was playing these backups. We got a knight. Alright, we're doing the thing. So it looks like on the other side of the table, by the way, all we've seen so far is a lock and a knight. So there's some kind of ice stuff going on. It looks like some kind of crystal stuff going on. Might see remnants over there as well. Pinello is going to reveal the top 5 cards of our deck looking for an MBM character. And we have 5 hits. So Hurdy or Bosch are going to be the picks here because we've got 2 Hurdys and 2 Pinellos and a Pinello already in play. Looks like Bosch is our man. So let's read this Pinello because this Pinello is really insane in the start of the show. This is the craziest comment I've seen in a while. When Pinello enters the field, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. You add an MBM character among them to your hand, return the other cards to the bottom of your deck in any order. Then you have dull 3 active category MBM characters. This is not restricted to once per turn. It does not include dulling an active Pinello. Just dull 3 active MBM characters. Your opponent selects a forward they control and put it into the break zone. So we have already 5, and you can see how very quickly you can actually activate that more than one time a turn when Pinello is out. And you can do the turn you play the Pinello too, which means you can have a pretty safe board. In fact, you can have 5 MBM backups, drop Pinello, and be able to get rid of, like, trigger that ability twice before your opponent has any kind of way to respond. So, very interesting little card there. Yeah, again, as I've been saying this whole time, I see Sergio now saying it again in pre-release. Every single pre-release is just MBM. Anybody who's not playing MBM is losing the pre-release. The people playing MBM are just playing MBM against each other. Ash is a wild limit break card for something like limited. These cards are just crazy for limited. It was honestly one of the least fun pre-releases I've ever seen in my life because there's nothing to it. It's just play as many MBM cards as you can. So we'll see how well that translates to Constructed. It's going to be a very different world in Constructed, but I do think there's just like so much gasoline being poured all over these cards. They're just so efficient. and the way that things like that Penelo's action ability being abusable in all the right ways are really interesting to me as decisions. So oh, trust me, as the dancer guy, I know people keep saying this to me. Yes, it is also a dancer. You could do it in dancers, for sure, if you wanted to. The problem, so the one thing about MBM and dancers is you want the same thing for both of these decks, which is to have as many of your backups that have that text on them to activate the other cards in the deck as possible, right? So like you want to be activating Penelo and you want to be activating Portia, but the problem is activating Penelo and activating Portia are kind of at odds with each other, right? Because Portia wants you to play as many standard unit backup dancers as possible, and MBM wants you to play as many named MBM backups as possible. And like, yes, you can play them alongside each other, and there are some, and very few, when I say some, cross synergies. Those synergies mostly just being the fact that the elements are the right colors, and the Penelo has a dancer job. Those are the only real, like, cross synergies that make you want to put those two packages together. So I think it's probably more likely that they're both a little bit better on their own, but there is also likely a deck that finds just the right blend of like 80% effectiveness for both things. It's better than the sum of the parts, right? So it's worth exploring and worth messing with for sure. The thing is, like, the strength of this deck, I mean, yes, Penelo and stuff are good, but like this backup line is insane. Like Mont Blanc just playing a character of 3 or less, the fact that these guys like get guys back, search for guys, they all can be played off of the 4-drop, and they can all be played off of the Ash and stuff. Like the Ash Limit Break card and everything are wild. So I feel like I just want to... Both the dancers and the MBM guys want you to fill your deck with as many dancers and as many MBM guys as possible, so it just gets like a little weird. Bosch is absolutely swole right now, man. If you have 5 or more MBM characters, he's just a 10k Brave. So right now he is a 10k Brave. And then you can discard a card from your hand to give another 5,000 power till the end of the turn. So this guy, I mean, it has to be an MBM card from your hand, but this guy is saying that, like, power is just not going to do it, man. You're going to have to break him the old-fashioned way. Seymour is choosing a different option here where he'll just be able to part of the team scooting these cards out of the way. We're going to freeze the 1 water backup and the Gertie that has an action ability to break a forward. And we're going to also, looks like, cast this free Shiva to freeze the Bosch. Draw a card here and just lock it all down for a turn. I would really like to see another backup drop right now here from JR. Because he's locking this down, and Kurt's so low on cards in hand that JR has a chance to like stabilize and keep the Seymour in play. I think Kurt maybe went a little bit too low early by just like he wanted to jam those backups out as early as possible, but he didn't know what he was playing against. Then once it's revealed it's an ice deck, it's kind of like, oh no, I went all the way down to like a 1 to 2 card hand early, which can sometimes be really strong, but it does mean it's going to be easy for the ice player to kind of keep him in top deck mode for the rest of the game here. Now, No-No just being able to snap the Seymour off is pretty good. No-No is just choose it forward, opponent controls, and break it. No-No is essentially like Ash. You know that 60p Ash? I love that card so much. When you have, you know, 5 water backups that cost 1 CP to just blow a guy up. Technically, this guy can be free, but he feels very similar, where he's usually like a 1-2 CP card that just like you point at something and kill it. I like this guy a lot. But I mean, so you did all that stuff, and that's why I said I would have really liked to have seen another backup. He had a really efficient answer, even with all that stuff frozen and so few cards. It's funny because the no is just so efficient and kills the Seymour, who is very expensive no matter how you slice it, right? 5 cost guy costs an extra card or point just to do his thing. So your opponent plays a guy for almost nothing and just blows him up. All right, go ahead. Also is able to drop the. Oh no, he already had all the. No, he did. He played the horn. So he's not only able to play the no to break your guy, he also is able to play a backup that just like replaces itself, a 2CP backup that just replaces itself. So he ends his turn having played 2 cards, killed your Seymour, and still with a card in his hand, despite the fact that you were dull freezing his backups, trying to throw him off color, and you were attacking his hand. So it's kind of interesting to see. Looks like we're removing a Yazoo and a Laz from the game, so I think maybe we're choosing to play. Wait, what happened there? Oh, we played Sid Highwind. Oh, that's very cool. So Sid Highwind came in, we searched for Yaz and Lazu and added them to our hand, and then we played a Spiritus because we wanted to start that kind of crystal regeneration there. And Fran comes in. So Fran, MBM, she gets a forward other than Fran in the break zone, and an MBM forward other than Fran and adds it to your hand. And then she can play a ball here for just 2 CP, 2 lightning CP there. Any old ball here from your hand onto the field is pretty cool. Although, of course, you're probably going to be playing the lightning MBM ball here, but it is interesting that she can kind of synergize with other copies of ball here like that. Because you could play this like. You play this Fran, pay the 2, get the ball theory in, and then have him play a 2-drop Sky Pirate. It's an interesting way to play, like, Lightning Water Sky Pirates while splashing relevant Bosches, or ball theories. It's again, I'm not saying it's any good at all, it's just interesting. Mateus can dull this Bosch and draw a card. EX, nice. And the one thing about filling your backup with these MBM guys is you see no Lenas, right? So you kind of got the green light. Your EXs are free and safe again. It's also the beginning of a set, so we're going to see the least amount of things like Amaterasu, 3CP Leviathan cancel, Lena, Sid Waff. We're just going to see the least of those things that we're going to see all set, because right now people are more interested in exploring their new fun idea and are less interested in stopping what you're trying to explore, right? Because everybody we're more interested in like, ooh, new things, new toys. This is always how it goes on these kind of fresh new beginning of sets, man. Bam, wow, wow. I'll have so much materia. So JR is staring down the barrel of this wildly efficient board of fucking characters, man. These absolute clowns. One of the most consistent art style decks we've had in a long time. It's kind of neat because it is all original art, but it's all original art for this board game. But even still. I guess, okay, alright, Snuggy, in that sense, everything's original art. Yeah, well, you know what I mean? They're not like renders of dudes from the game. Like, I get that it's not Final Fantasy TCG specific original art, but Ryoma Ito made new interpretations of all of these characters in this fun kind of like chibi style, and I think it's fun. I like it. But I'm also biased because Ryoma Ito is my favorite Final Fantasy TCG artist, so. Every Ryoma Ito Final Fantasy 11 card, oh, I love it. I love it. So we gotta come up with a solution to this table, this board state. Kadaj and Seymour would be a pretty nasty turn. I mean, we've got a lot of cards, right? Like, JR can do some big things. He does have the Remnants in his deck. He does have Barts, I'm sure, in his deck. I see all these crystals. We're playing Win. He has the Remnants. He probably has Barts. He probably has more Seymours. We need to lock it down and strip the hand, ideally. I mean, it's a blessing right now there's no Pinello on the table. The fact that there's no Pinello in play, if we can strip the hand, it's a big ass, but we've got 7 cards in our hand. If we can attack the hand and lock it down a little bit, and prevent the Pinello from coming out, then we have a chance to kind of build a board here. Because the problem is right now, Pinello hits this board if we don't lock it down, and I'm looking at 1, 2, 3 activations if we decide to pitch from hand to play Pinello, where we just kill, we just Famford all the forwards away. Like, Pinello doesn't say once a turn. It doesn't say you have to dull Pinello for the effect. Hoping to get a box this weekend. Would love to get a full art Garnet or Vivi. Yeah. Dude, the Final Fantasy 9 cards are gorgeous. I got a full art in my pre-release kit. It was Bahamut Zero or whatever. Sure, whatever. I'll tell you, well, it was an all-star in pre-release, but about as far as we'll be going with that card. Alright, so we're doing some Remnant stuff here. So first we did Vincent, and we froze 3 of the FFBM backups, or MBM backups. Now Yazoo enters the field, and when he comes in, we're going to remove another Remnant from the game, get 2 more crystals. So we have 4. We're going to spend 1 to choose a character to dull freeze it. Now Yazoo can only be used once a turn, otherwise, I mean, that's a really cool, repeatable effect if you could, but no. Yazoo is going to freeze another one of these backups. So we're trying to prevent the fact that Pinello can just come down and just machine gun our board away. I think so far we're doing a pretty good job. Pretty efficient to play 2 3-drops and effectively freeze out 4 characters on 4 backups, no less. But this is where, like, if I'm Kurt, man, I pitch 3 cards in my hand and I play Ash from Limit Break. I use this last 1 backup in play to play the card for free, whatever Ash lets me play, and then I just have like a 6 wide board, and I'm saying I double dog dare you, dude. Like you gotta wipe this wide board. And Ice Wind, always bad. Ice has just always been bad at wiping the wide board. They need things to be kind of set up in a particular way. We're using Fran's ability here to play Balthier. He has haste. When he attacks, we can give another guy haste. And when he attacks for dulling forwards, oh my god, dude, I'll tell you. We're doing 4 or 5 damage this turn. Now, is this... Do we have... Oh, no, it's Pinello. We're going to Pinello. Now, see, I don't know why we didn't do Ash, man. Ash and then play the Pinello here for this 1 CP, man. Goodness, look at all this. We've got the Gill Snapper. We've got the Vorpal Bunny. Actually taking the Vorpal Bunny here, which is interesting, not the Gill Snapper, dude. I guess we're gonna try to kill one of these forwards, revealing a monster or a backup. It's all the same. I figure if you've got these off-color guys in there, though, the only reason is to play them off of these such effects. Oh, that doesn't play it, just adds it to hand, sorry. I'm thinking the Ash we would use to play it, but we don't have Ash. So yeah, take the thing that you can play, sure. Take the thing that you can pitch for something relevant, of course. So Pinello's here, we can dull 3 of these guys to do a Famford effect, but that's not that great. I think we're just going to turn Balthier sideways and then give somebody else haste and dull one of these guys as we attack. Now we're going to try to freeze a character here with Vincent instead. Is that what's happening? Oh no, we're attacking, sorry, we're attacking with Bosch, who's brave, and we're dulling Vincent with Balthier's ability when Bosch attacks, sure. Alexandria to damage. Now we can attack with Balthier and haste, we can haste, you know, Pinello after. So yeah, we attack with No, we dull another forward here, Yazoo. I mean, we can put him to 6. I don't know why not. The only thing that you might think is like, oh, if I'm putting all these guys dull, it gives him... It's easier for him to like freeze my board out or like break all my guys with a nice Zalera or something, but 3 Alexanders of damage is pretty funny in a row. I actually wonder if there's... Have we seen a single non-MBM card in Kurt's deck so far? Leviathan. Otherwise, my man is as all in as he can get. Make sure those things hit, man, you know? We are trying to sort it out here. Let's see, we've got the other tables going. Let's see if we have results in for them yet. Looks like we do have results for table 2 and results for table 3 coming in, so this is going to be the last one. Here, it looks like at table 2, Irving took it 7-4 over Tyler, And in table 3, DJ took a 7-4 over Logan. So, Tyler, we will make it a point to check out what you're up to in the last round. But it looks like our finals will be Irving versus whoever wins this round here. It might be against another, might be some remnants sitting across the table from each other. It might be a little MBM action, so we'll see. Kadaj finally coming down here, and this is the payoff card for the remnants, so we will be able to attack those last 2 cards from Kurt's hand if it gets to stick around. The problem is Pinello's kind of ready to just kind of wink at Kadaj and blast him into existence before he triggers that end of turn thing. But it does give us the ability here to see what Kadaj wants to do first. Like, there's no way to stop the Pinello thing. We're going to be able to dull these 3 forwards. We would have to have something that comes down like now that just prevents action abilities from being used. It's just not, literally not in the cards. The Kadaj sure has a lot of crystals. You can just start deciding to return people to hand. However, returning the no-no to hand is pretty bad. And even returning the Fran to hand is not great. So it's a little awkward. Oh, I have the names up and then I never clicked the button to put them over. I'm so sorry, guys. That's Fran. That's Fran. That's Fran. That's Kurt. And that's JR. Here. And Fran is somewhere as well. I lost, but I sent a message, and I put the fear... Oh, I knocked something over. I put the fear of God in the American muscle. Oh my goodness. Alright, well, I can't wait to see what we're working with here, man. Alright, so we are going to try to kill... We're going to try to dull freeze Bosch with the Yazu, so we're forcing the Pinello trigger. We're going to use the Pinello trigger. We're going to say sack somebody. Now, he's not going to sack the Kadaj, so he can still have the... he can still get the 2 discard at the end of the turn. Because Pinello is your opponent selects, so it's kind of like a Famfrit thing. I assume we're just going to sack off the Victoria. Taking a long time to make his Pinello choice here. Are both these players like waiting for each other to go? Okay, there we go. Alright, so we get that resolves. Bosch is frozen. The Brave 10k is frozen. Now we're gonna use Kadaj to put Balthier back in hand, which does give our opponent the ability to discard that instead of the things they were holding on to, which is interesting. Yeah, is Kurt playing sealed? Yeah, it looks like Kurt's at pre-release right now. Vincent's going to freeze Baknami. This man is playing from the past. I can't wait to see what what he's up to. Alright, so the thing is, we do spend almost every crystal here, but we just put a lot of the stuff back in Kurt's hand. And the awkward thing about that is we don't also put the no-no back in hand. The Balthier alone is enough to have enough attackers to kill, right? But if we put the no-no back in hand, he gets to just kill one of my guys for free, but man, I don't know, it's really tough. If you don't have anything else, you literally just lose. I mean, maybe you spend the crystal and you dull freeze the no-no, but you already spent the crystal to dull freeze this Bagnami, looks like? Or did you use Vincent to dull freeze the Bagnami? He goes to the end phase and gains the crystal because of Spiritus. Where did this Vorpal Bunny come from? Wait, what? Oh, it's already on to Kurt's turn or something? It doesn't look like it went to the next person's turn. There we go. Oh, he was showing the cards he was discarding for Kadaj. I'm an idiot, sorry. I was like, why is he showing me? Why is he using this? Because it looked like he played it first. He played the Vorpal Bunny. That's why I'm confused. Because it literally said he plays the Vorpal Bunny. It's pre-release all over again. Yeah, ain't that the truth, folks? I see everybody's pre-release. Yeah, much the same. Everybody's pre-release, much the same. They're just so good out of the box, man. The backup line being, the backup line is insane. I mean, yes, what the forwards and stuff do are crazy too, and they're good, but just like the fact that like everything you need in a backup line just comes all right out of the package there, right out of the box. Chef's kiss. The whole thing is just like, would it have been too crazy if they were category 12? I guess because then they don't all get this like, I guess so what I'm saying is if they were 12 and MBM, like they could still have the restriction where that's the synergy line that they work across, right? Where like you still need to play MBM cards for this deck to work. But like, would it be that crazy if they were also Cat 12? I don't know. It is weird that they're like this orphaned category. All 4 rounds were MBM mirror for me. Yeah, same. All 3 rounds were MBM for me at pre-release. And I heard that it was the same at the other pre-release. Yeah, like literally the worst pre-release I've ever played. But you know, hey. You think if they were 12 MBM, there would be an emergency ban restricted? For what? For who? For why? Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. For what? An emergency ban? I have to go find my pearls so I can clutch them. I said thing. No, but like what why? Like what card? What would be the thing that would be that gets so crazy? To be clear, I'm not saying that you can. These guys would also activate their synergy if with MBM and 12 characters. I'm just saying these guys would also be 12s. Oh, somebody's taking them on the noggin there. 7 GG, dude. Yeah, the MBM just Balthier. Like I said, he was enough to win as long as one forward stayed on the field. I know it felt really weird to bounce the no-no back to hand, but Lethal was technically on the table / you know, we knew it was in his hand if we didn't do that. So unfortunately, that is the inevitable conclusion of letting that sit there. As weird as it might have been to give it back to him to kill one of our forwards for free, it's better than being dead. All right, we going into round 3 here, where we get to see Irving's crystal list. Is also doing remnant stuff, and see if that version can fare any better against the MBM. All right. Let's get the Kurt 7 JR1 as table 1 there. Table 3 DJ 7 Logan 4, and table 2 Irving took a 7-4 over Tyler. Ban rug. I just saw it. Chugga Lugga. Alright, I'll be there in a second. Hold on. Mr. Rula, I see you've been playing Slay the Spire 2 co-op a lot, dude. We gotta get on that sometime. I was talking a bit with our mutual acquaintance about it yesterday at the pre-release. At first, when I was playing it, I was like, this is fun. Slay the Spire was also fun. This is very fun. However, they literally give you like you get the same character with the same deck, and the gameplay is like the same at the beginning, and I was kind of like, where's the 2? And then as soon as I started playing co-op with people, I was like, oh, here's the 2, dude. The 2 to me is 2-player, or like multiple players. The co-op has been so fun. If anything, I just want to play it more so I can unlock more multiplayer ascensions, because it's easy, but it's still really fun, despite how much easier it is than just doing it by yourself. It's tears pilled, yeah. I appreciate that they've like updated art and they've updated all this stuff, but like to me, a lot of it just kind of felt like this could have been an email. This could have been a patch. This could have been an update. This could have been like a DLC or something. But then I played the multiplayer, and I understand that there were mods, right, that existed in the past, so you could have played multiplayer, but I'm not one to do like Steam Workshop stuff or mod stuff most of the time, so I never, you know, I only played it ever the way it was meant to be played. So to me, the multiplayer stuff being a thing really does add enough. It's like a whole kind of element to the game, and I honestly, I just want to do more of that, and I kind of want to explore that angle a bit more and more. I haven't tried 4 people yet. I think that'd be interesting too. The song's giving you Persona vibes. Yeah, it's a weird mix of this song. I've only done 3 and 2. I assume 4 is absurdly easy. Yeah, probably. That's why I want to get to like, A20 4-player. You know. Yeah, I agree. The difficulty's not quite where I want it to be, but like the fun and like oh, how can we make these cards interact with each other, and like playing the cross synergies and stuff is a lot of fun. The only thing is sometimes, just because of the nature of the game, and let me get this game off screen. The pairings are going up right now, guys. Sometimes the nature of the game means that I'm taking like an infinite turn on the defect. And, you know, Chocobo Joe's just got to sit there and watch me take my turn for 10 minutes. It's kind of unfun. The multiplayer cards are particularly broken, yeah. Agree. But that's kind of like, again, you know... Yeah, exactly. Part of the fun. Like, I love giving everybody an Asti. Like, oh, that's funny. I really like the Necrobinder, and I don't like the Regent. Alright, pairings are going up, folks. What is this? I don't want that to say that. Hold on. Go away. Okay, ignore the fact that it says 0-0 for Kurt and Irving, because there's nothing in there yet. Alright. I despised Regent at first, but he's quite fun for me now. He's definitely the one that starts by far the weakest, so he's the easiest to die in Act 1. And to be fair, I played him like twice, and I was like, oh, this is annoying. It feels like he's supposed to just be like, oh, fill your card with normal cards deck. And I get that that's just like one of the builds, but I was like, I don't really know that I feel like dealing with doing all this right now. Juggling 2 different resources like this right now. But I feel like in multiplayer, he's probably more fun as well. When you can have other people kind of like tanking for you while you build up and get to like a stronger deck, a stronger like synergy. That was my pre-release. It was kind of trash, but I mean, it was bad. It was bad for many reasons, but I'm excited for the new set. However, I don't think I ever would like to engage with this set in the sealed format ever again. In multiplayer, if you stack the Necrobinder for Doom, yeah, I like Doom build, or Regent for sword stuff, like the Conquer, he could be broken. Yeah. I can see that. I just have to do it more, man. I've only done like 4 multiplayer runs or 5 multiplayer runs or something like that. I would really like to just want to play it more, but there's not enough time in the world to play all these damn games that keep coming out, man. Oh, of all players are Regent or Necrobinder. Oh, yeah. Or like, we did one where we were all doing poison,
like we were all silent, stacking poison. Yeah, like that kind of stuff is clearly like insanely better than the sum of the parts. Yeah, Soiree. So the thing I think about Soiree that made it a little bit less prevalent or less bad, like yes, it was good out of the box. Yes, those guys had really good synergies for limited out of the box, but they keyed off of fewer cards. And you might even say like, oh well, like such and so, like Amber or Shinju, whichever one is a common, or whoever's a rare. Well, like sure, but like Pinello's a common, and I only got one Pinello. But guess what? One Pinello is still insane, because there's so many cards that synergized with the payoff cards and stuff that were so accessible. And Ash is a limit break card. Like Ash being the limit break card, I think is one of the craziest parts, because it was like you could play your deck full of that synergy, and it was also like virtually impossible to miss the synergy. Whereas I don't think it was possible for like all 6 players in my pre-release to force the same deck, even when it was Soiree. Yeah, exactly. I had 2 friends, like 2 no-nos, and enough, and all the backups, and 2 Ash limit break. So that's all you need. That's all you need. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nobody went undefeated at ours. Everybody went X1s. So. Alright, I don't know why I'm not in the game here. Table 1 of the motherfucking RVA, I see, is the name of this table. Let's get in there. Let's look at the finals. Let's get this game underway. Let's get this finals under wraps. It's Irving versus Kurt here. And they are off to the races already. It looks like Irving probably went first, and we just finished his turn 3 going into the second turn here for Kurt. Irving looks like he was able to just get the old turn 2 Barts online. Oh, you know what? We see the Knight and we see the Oracle, but Bart's is out. I wonder if we pitched the new Light card for a Crystal or something. Oh no, maybe we played this. We played a Lucio and it was killed by this no-no is what happened. Okay, I see. I see. I mean, you know what's funny about the no-no is he's even better than Cloud as a 4 CP kill, because he kills any guy. Yeah, we had that nice discount there. Well, I mean, he doesn't come from over here, and he costs 2 more than Cloud even at 4 CP because he's from hand and blah blah blah. You know, just making a quick comparison, and it's a bad comparison, and I get it. I'm just saying, it is interesting how. I guess the point I actually am trying to make, which I should say instead, is it's interesting how efficient of a removal spell this guy is, even at just a 4K, a 4-cost 8K kill a guy. When you got a guy you really need to kill like Lucio, I mean, hey, the price is right. So Yazuyoshi Kiri also coming down again. Tell me again, I'm going to say this just one more time, especially because Bartz is on the field here. Tell me that this guy doesn't look like at worst a wind card, and at best a ice wind card, right? Here, I'm gonna move my finger away from it. You tell me that doesn't look like an ice wind card or a wind card to you. Shit's got, yes, it has the ice symbol, but dog, that card is green because they got a giant yellow disc behind the fucking blue transparency. it just looks like it's green and ice, green and blue. Oh no, not the Cloud song. No. We do it every time. We're skipping it. It's the worst track on that video. We go to the Final Fantasy VIII stuff. But I don't want to fall asleep, so then we always skip ahead to Balam Garden. You'd think that we would have this sorted by now. Alright, there we are. Here we go. Welcome to the garden. I have a sword, that's right. My name is Cloud. I have a sword. No, we're not doing that. Ironclad tank builds of Juggernaut. Sorry, Stellar, I just saw this. Ironclad tank builds of Juggernaut are very funny. Just deal damage for gaining guard. Dude, Ironclad, it's funny because he's just so simple and straightforward, but still one of my favorite characters in the Spire, dude. I just love him. It's okay that he's straightforward because Slay the Spire is a good game. The design is good. Do you know the classic YTMD era meme? Dude, I cannot believe... Do you know that you are the 3rd time this week? I haven't talked about YTMND in years, and this is the 3rd time this week YTMND has come up. I was talking to somebody, was it last night or 2 nights ago? It wasn't last night. 2 nights ago I was talking to somebody about NEDM and oh god, the internet is a series of tubes. Like all these ancient YTMND things, dude. Yeah, I remember a fucking class. NEDM. I do love his straightforwardness. Yeah. I think the trade-offs are really obvious, right? Like, it's really obvious for him to tell when you're like, okay, that's it, I'm gonna go all in on attack, and I can see that I'm leaving myself open on like the defense side. And it's also very obvious when he pivots into like, oh, I'm gonna do a defensive build. And I think that like he just does such a good job illustrating. He's like more than a tutorial character. He's just kind of like the control group, you know what I mean? Like, you can compare everything back to him as kind of like the normal control group character, and there's a lot of value in that. And everybody else gets to be wacky and wild because he, like, establishes the rules. Then he gets to be a little bit wacky and wild himself, too. Alright, so this is the ice water crystals, despite the fact that it looks like there's 2 wind cards on the field and there's only one. Ice water crystals here from Irving has gotten a very wide board and removed the early Sabo here. I think Kurt is just having trouble setting up. I mean, Irving went for that early Lucio. Kurt, feeling the need to kill the Lucio, plays a 4-cost no-no. Like, basically, he has 1 backup, 1 monster, and then plays the no-no to remove the guy. Normally, at that point, I mean, you want to be playing the no-no for, like, 1 or 2 CP because you have so many MBM characters, especially because you have the backups. The backup line, one of the strongest parts about the build. I'm shocked, again, where is the Ashe Limit Break? We didn't see him use Ashe Limit Break a single time in the last game that we watched. Like, he's floating this 1 backup. He needs to establish board. He needs to find the backups. Like, Ashe can play backups. We got to get the Ashe going. Our limit break is untouched. We need Ashe is like the glue that holds the consistency of this together. Crystal's got a huge boost. Yeah, Crystal's got a huge boost. I think even just specifically, I can't talk today. Specifically, Warrior of the Crystal got an interesting boost. Like, the fact that you can go search this guy instead of the, like, do-nothing soldier guys is so much better. Like, Parain, sure, whatever. Oh, this guy discards a card. And then he's a big dude who, like, forces blocks. Yeah, okay, I'll take him. Kadaj finished me off. He said I drew it off the Leo. Yeah, Kadaj just taking 2 cards a turn at this point means it looks like Kurt is scooping it here. Says, yeah, he just draws 2 cards per turn. He doesn't have enough of anything. He's got 2 backups, 1 water monster, no lightning established. Kadaj is ripping 2 cards a turn. He needs an answer now, and then he still has to deal with these other 4 forwards. So again, I think kind of stumbling early for him there was just really, really difficult. He made a good call to try to kill this Lucio before that Crystal generation just got out of hand, but he just didn't have the backups. I almost wonder if we really should have just seen an earlier Ashe to try to just get something going on our backup line and get the backups we were clearly missing to start establishing. Like if we Ashe into and we find the Mont Blanc and can kind of like chain these plays together, that's where the strength of this MBM deck is for sure. You hit some people with Paul? Oh my god, are you done already? Wait, is your table still up? We just watched the end of this game. Mission accomplished. Okay, done. I'd rather play Rick than Yoshikiri over Zoom and Ron. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely, Clint, for sure. The quality of those cards is just way better. And also, the nice thing is you can play a little bit, you can play some of both, and you don't just have to play, like, random off-color guys to have enough cards. Oh, I can't get into the game anymore, damn. Alright, well, you had a Paul deck. I'm sorry that we didn't get to see it, Tyler. But that's it for this week, guys. Wow, wrapping up by 9 o'clock our first week here with Opus 28, Dreamlike Oceans, so they say. We saw some Final Fantasy IX. We saw some MBM. We saw a couple players trying out the new Remnants with some Crystal builds. Warriors of the Crystal got a little bit of attention. We saw Kadaj, Laz, and Yazoo. Very cool to see. We saw Final Fantasy IX, Fire, Water. Apparently there was a Final Fantasy II deck running around that had Paul in it. It was very cool. Would have liked to see the Final Fantasy II deck. Yeah, I figured that's why I just, played FF2. The Remnants do seem really good, man. Brett Hywen, thank you so much, Brett, for the Prime. I appreciate you, brother. You're the king. Speaking of, I'm just going to do a shameless plug. I don't work for Brett or anything like that, but my man's got product available. If you're looking for boxes or anything of this set, he's been posting on the old Facebook. Go out there and get yourself some stuff. Low is the weakest one by far, yeah, for sure. But the fact that he is generate 2 crystals on a 3 CP 7K body is still pretty decent. Or Laws. I like the Remnants a lot. Played the new Maria. That's very cool. He rips the ball out of the deck. Yeah. So very cool stuff. Loved it all. Best of luck to all on Friday. Get that Siggy Una. What's going on Friday? Oh, we already had pre-releases. You mean the release day? Just people ripping products? Yeah, good luck. Good luck to people opening cards. Yeah, I would love to see if people get the new cool signature cards or anything like that. It'd be sick to see. Thank you, sir. That's right. Absolutely. Icewind crystals may be better. There's a lot to look into, man. There's a lot to build. I was thinking, dude, Irving. Mr. Retired Cop Irving Diaz. What are you up to on, Sunday? You want to do a coffee and bullshit with me? Wake up nice and early, have our cuppa, and just try a bunch of weird decks on stream. I just want to try a bunch of weird shit. And I think a coffee and bullshit's a good place for trying a bunch of weird shit. Maybe it doesn't have to be Sunday. We don't have to decide what we're going to do right now, but let's do something like that, dude. Sounds good to me. All right, man. Let's do it. And yeah, you got a list, Tyler? Just drop it in the coffee and bullshit channel. I think that still exists. Yeah, every morning. That's right. Sounds good to me, man. All right, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. We've got a lot of interesting new decks. Everything we saw tonight was new, which is cool. I can't wait to see what people tinker and toggle with as we get further into the set. There's a lot that's unexplored. We didn't see any of the Final Fantasy X stuff, any of the Final Fantasy IV stuff, any of the Final Fantasy 7 stuff, any of the Final Fantasy 13 stuff. There's still a lot going on out there, so it'll be interesting to dive in as we continue here. But thanks so much for joining me this week. We will see you next week. Good luck this weekend with your pulls, with the box openings and the case openings and the locals that you will be attending this weekend as we celebrate the release of this set. And I hope that you guys get all the shinies that you wanted. Until next time, folks. Bye-bye. Toodles. See you. Ta-ta. Adios.